Welcome to Keegan and Carlos's Scary Movie Podcast.
Each week, we watch and review scary movies from our giant list of films we've curated.
Each film more terrible than the last.
We watch them so you don't have to,
Or so that we can recommend it to you.
or so you can listen if you've seen them before.
Or so that I don't know, I just want to watch some scary movies.
And scary movies are great. You guys should listen to them.
Carlos, let's watch some
Again,
scary movies.
let's go watch some scary movies.
Let's
go!
Did you watch
Tomorrow.
Follow the House of Usher yet?
I've only seen the first episode. My life has been way too busy.
Cool. Great
But I
response.
loved the first episode. And now that I feel like I'm a little more sane, I will
You watch
be
them.
getting back to watch. I'll probably watch. I don't want to binge it because I want to enjoy it. So-
I binged like the first 4 and then I like kind of spaced the other
Okay.
4 out a little bit.
I'll watch a few tomorrow because tomorrow I'm like laundry.
The
chores.
Mask of the Red Death and Telltale Heart. Those are my 2 favorite ones.
Okay. I'm very excited. I mean, just from the first episode alone, I was like, I'm captivated.
Mask is my favorite. Poe.
That one.
Yeah.
You haven't watched Follow the House of Usher yet?
Nope, not yet.
It's a very different take on Mask of the Red Death, but man, it is good.
They're not all getting together during a plague and then slowly getting the plague one at a time.
Don't answer that if it's a spoiler.
All right. If they didn't do something smart with COVID in that, then they're kinda dumb.
It's after COVID.
That, okay.
Yeah.
Then they missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Next to the
main stage.
stage,
Missed
missed
opportunity.
opportunity.
I'm also catching up on the morning show, and they're doing a lot of.
Oh, I haven't.
They're doing all the COVID stuff. They're doing the Capitol raids on the Capitol. They're doing.
That was season 2, right?
They did a kind of a flashback episode where they did a special of something that happened during COVID. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, because they filmed during COVID for season 2,
Right.
so it's all like
Now it's all post.
Because I haven't seen season 3 yet.
Yeah, everything is post COVID now.
I love morning
But there
show.
was one episode that was a flashback of something that happened during the pandemic. But then they're also touching on like the raiding of the Capitol.
Interesting.
Overturning of Roe v. Wade is the last episode that I just watched.
Oh, I bet.
Oh man, it was.
Man, I bet these writers were real pissed off whenever they were writing that season.
But it's good. I mean, it's such a good show.
Welcome to another episode of our morning show podcast.
Welcome to another episode of our Everything But Keegan and Carlos podcast. But also welcome to
Welcome to another episode of
Keegan and Carlos' Scary Movie Podcast. I took the high part.
You did. That's good.
How are you doing?
I'll take the low one. I'm good.
I'll take the high road and you'll take the low road.
Today, so we're recording a little early today. Today, you called me at 10:29 a.m.
I did.
And I was technically still asleep at that time. I have not been able to sleep, and usually like I wake up at 7 or 8 on the weekends and it sucks and I can't go back to sleep, and I'm just like, all right, I'm going. Today I slept in until 10:30, like exactly 10:30. I looked at my watch when I woke up.
I literally called.
It
Yeah, it was
like,
10:30 when I called.
I feel refreshed. What is this feeling? This is amazing.
So sudden and new. You
So
felt the
sudden and
moment.
new.
You laid us on you.
Keegan
Loathing.
awoke.
It's
Keegan
loathing.
awoke well rested.
Yeah, I'm well rested.
That's also the reason I called you was to let you know I'm probably going to be running late.
Yeah.
Because I also slept in because I never
nice.
get to sleep in. I was like, I feel good.
Yeah.
Same. I slept till 10. It was great.
Heck
So,
yeah, look at us. All 3 of us getting a good
And
night's
I wasn't
sleep.
really late. I was 5 minutes later than what we said our call was supposed to be. So
And I stayed up playing Miles Morales last night and I finished it. Man, that was a good story.
Meows.
The new one is really, really good.
I can't wait. I'm going to start it tomorrow.
Definitely finish Miles first. It flows.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah. And I
Kind
just
of like the way the
finished it.
first one flows into Miles. This one flows into
I even
that.
did
love a
like
good flow.
the end game missions where it's like go and do all the postcards.
Yeah.
And go and do
Honestly, that's the fun thing with all the Spider-Mans. There's so many like collectibles and so many just extra things to do that the number of times, I feel like we all probably did this too. I've turned on both Spider-Man 1 and Miles and nothing to do. I don't want to occur. I don't want to make any objectives. I just want to swing.
You're like,
I want to swing and explore.
today
and
I
just
learned
have fun.
Carlos is a swinger.
Hey, I got an upside down pineapple tattooed on my body. Isn't that the swinger thing?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Yeah,
I know things from the cruises.
I always have a Spider-Man game on the hard drive, so I deleted Miles Morales to put 2 on.
I thought you were going to say something about you have a pineapple up there. So like a tattoo on your body. I was like, I didn't know you were that way. That's cool, man. Let's go on a cruise. There's people I can introduce you to.
Oh, not those people.
Yummy.
Well, okay, what is it about swingers on cruises? It's all the people that
Nobody you would actually want to go swinging.
It's all the
with.
people from Frank's orgy.
That's nothing to do with cruises, I don't think. I think that's just swingers.
Everyone here is so punchy.
But that's literally everyone that we saw was like the people from Frank's orgy. Frank from All Saint in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We don't actually know a guy named Frank.
Orgy.
What's the password?
It's all about the buffet. When you go to an orgy, it's all about the buffet.
So I won't share everything, but y'all know I start a new job in 2 days.
You are now working at
Do you
the address? No, I
don't even think you know the name of the company.
I know about where it's at though.
He's working the drive-through at Chick-fil-A.
Ooh,
I'm working 9 to 5.
My pleasure.
Sundays off, baby.
My pleasure.
Sundays off. My pleasure.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I always think of
Next
like
to the main stage. My pleasure.
Whenever I order something from somewhere and I'm like, oh, thank you, and they say my pleasure, I'm like, did you work at Chick-fil-A?
It's just a courtesy
Like when
thing.
they didn't say.
Have I ever told you the My Pleasure game?
No.
You go to Chick-fil-A and you try to say thank you as many times as you can, and you make sure they say my pleasure after each one to see how many my pleasures you can get. I've gotten 17 in one visit.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure they hate me. But it's because they're supposed to always say my pleasure. And so you're like, hi, welcome to Chick-fil-A. Hi, oh, thank you for the welcome. Oh, my pleasure. What can I get for you today? I'd like a number 3 if that's okay. Yeah, sure. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
And can I also make sure I get that with light ice on the Coke? Absolutely. Oh, thank you. My pleasure. Like, you have to be the most thankful person ever. They will hate you by the end of it.
Oh man.
But yeah, I left my old job. I feel, I don't know if you could tell when you called me last week, the past weeks, I've just been so like glazed over.
Yeah.
I don't know if I sounded glazed. I feel like I was not fully attentive when I knew I was talking to you and I knew what we were talking about, but I definitely was like, after you hung up, I was like, wait, what did we, yeah, okay. I remember what we talked about. Like after hanging up, I almost completely forgot what we had talked about.
That's funny.
But I feel refreshed now.
Good.
Like I will say on my
Ready for a new
last day, I was done working by like 3. Like I did everything. I asked who I was currently reporting to because my boss had left. I was like, do you have anything for me to do? I've passed all of this off. Yeah. I've trained everyone on all of these things. I don't have anything physically to do. There's nothing for me to start. Do you need anything from me? And she's like, well, not really. I was like, here's my laptop then. Here's my badge. Here's my company card. I'm going then. And yeah, I just basically, it's like, all right, then I'm bye. And so I left at like 3:30, and my team and I and a few select folks from work, we just did like a happy hour thing. It was good. It was a good send off. My boss, so my old boss, she loves crystals, like the fine crystals that you put on like shelves and stuff.
Not like the crystals you collect to like.
No, like crystal meth.
Okay, nice.
No, like the fancy crystals.
Yeah.
And she has a huge collection, and she always gives a crystal like to people when they leave. Mm-hmm. But then she left before I did, and so I was like, in my heart, I was like, oh man, I want a Pam. Her name is Pam. It's like I want a Pam crystal, and she came to the happy hour and she gave me a bag. She's like, careful, they're both fragile. One was a thing of whiskey of 1792, which is one of my favorite brands.
Yeah.
And the other one, I picked it up, and she's like, so you know I have a collection. I was like, is this a Pam crystal? And she's like, it. And I told her, I was like, I'm going to be honest. When I knew that you were coming, I secretly was hoping that you were going to bring me a crystal.
I want a Pam crystal.
And it was a crystal of a panda. Because I have this thing back at the old place where I called it Panda Wednesdays. Our old cafe vendor, they would bring in Chipotle, Panda, Freebirds, a bunch of other vendors too. And Wednesdays was Panda Days.
Yeah.
And you would get there early for Panda Day. And so I would get in line early, and I always had Panda. Then they switched to Guggenheimer or some other food vendor, and they didn't bring anyone in. Their food was great, but they didn't bring anyone in. And I was like, I still want Panda on Wednesdays. And so every Wednesday I would get Panda. It became a staple.
I love Panda Express so much.
I do too. And so
it is delicious garbage food.
Oh, it's not Chinese food at all.
They have the best sugar chicken.
But it's
sugar chicken. Yeah.
But I got my whole team in on it. I was like, so Panda Wednesday's a thing, just so you guys know. And so she got me a Panda. So she got me a crystal panda, and it was
That's
very
awesome.
sweet. And it will go on my new desk.
Well, congratulations on your new venture.
Thank you. Speaking of new ventures. Do, 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 do.
Oh, there is no Wi-Fi in this house.
I was going to ask. I looked at my phone. I was like, Wi-Fi is off. What happened?
Because my mom works from home.
Yeah.
She works from here.
Yeah.
And
can you not have an open network?
You can, but they noticed something on it. So it's going to be like a regular thing where like every like 3 or 4 months just resetting the network. But you can have the same exact name and the same exact password. It just needs to update or change.
Well,
I was going to say I got back on it, so you can just jump back on it, I think.
But then you have
but
to
she didn't name
reset
it correctly. Like she did, but like it's underscore instead of a space.
Oh, but then you have to reset like everything that was connected each. That's a hassle.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do it with the TV in here too in a sec.
Have her change it back to the original name. Like that's what I did when I caused the similar problems at my house.
Yeah.
Is it might be easier to change the Wi-Fi name and password back to what they originally were.
And they were technically, except it's a underscore, not a space. And
right.
She couldn't figure out how to do a space and not an underscore, so it has to be.
What an idiot!
I know.
Speaking of idiots. We already did that. And I will say, I actually know the answer to both of these.
Okay.
So they're not that hard.
Let's see. Well, I don't know. I'm not.
Sometimes
good at
I know
these.
things, though.
I'm not good at these. Let's see what happens.
What movie features an alien hunter hiding in the jungle using
Predator.
trees as camouflage? Yes.
Predator.
This is question number 2, Keegan.
Okay.
Because there's 2 questions per card.
This is the
There
second
is 2
question.
questions per card.
This is the second question.
The second question on the card. So, my fingies.
My fingies.
I have to do this one correctly.
Okay.
They're here.
Poultrygeist.
Name that movie. Yeah.
I love that movie.
You know what else I love?
You know that movie is rated PG?
You know what else is rated PG?
What?
My dick.
Oh, what? For parental guidance.
Because you need a parent to ride this rat. What? I'm done.
That movie was from before they had PG-13.
Yeah, but there's a scene of a guy ripping his own face off, like graphically. I thought it would have been rated R or something, but it's PG. Yeah.
I am the most excited for this movie. I have been wanting to watch this for a couple of years now. Keegan and I,
since we went to Disney World,
since we started this podcast, we have talked about doing this movie for a long time. And on one of the later episodes when he was like, "You haven't sent me anything," and I was like, "I've sent you stuff." This is one of the ones that I've sent, along with some other stuff.
This is the one that you've sent.
I've sent other ones too, and because I have all those ideas of like pairing movies of like which sequel is worse, or like those like different. Okay. So I have a lot of ideas. I have ideas. But this one in particular, I'm very excited. It's called Escape from Tomorrow. I don't want to go through all the fun facts, but it was filmed entirely at Disney World. I'll leave it at World. I'm just gonna say that for now.
Okay.
Because I don't want to ruin any of the fun facts.
Okay.
But it is based in Disney, and so because of that, the drink is titled Hakuna Matata.
No worries.
Not a Carlos original, but it is grenadine, spiced rum, coconut rum, banana liqueur. I was like, it sounds like a Bahama Mama, and then it doesn't. And then pineapple juice.
It's a pineapple juice with banana liqueur. Or it's
clink
Bahama
it
Mama.
and sink it. Oh.
That's a pull drink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
That's a pull.
Oh, boy.
I wasn't sure if I was, because it basically is a Bahama Mama minus orange juice plus banana. I like that a lot.
I'm not big on banana flavored things.
And I know you're not.
Like banana flavored stuff to it, but it's
really subtle good. And mixed with everything. Yeah. It's the emulsion of everything.
It almost with the banana, it kind of reminds me of like a banana smoothie, like when you add banana into a smoothie.
It's nice because it doesn't have that orange like citrusy thing. Instead, it's the banana. I'm enjoying it.
Very, very smooth.
I should just make for like 4th of July one thing of Bahama Mamas and then one thing of Hakuna Matatas.
Hakuna Matata.
And you can choose.
Can we rename them Banana Daddy? Bahama Mommy and Banana Daddy.
Ooh, Bahama Mama and Banana Daddy. Banana Daddy.
Banana Daddy.
I don't.
Banana Daddy.
Banana Daddy. I don't like this. Here's our synopsises. In a world. That actually is how it starts. In a world of fake castles and anthropomorphic, right?
Anthropomorphic, yes.
Ooh, I read a word.
That's a tough word.
It's human shape.
I'm going to start over.
It's an anthropomorphic
human-like.
Yeah.
Human shape, human-like things.
Like Mickey Mouse.
Which will make sense by the next word. Starting over. In a world of fake castles and anthropomorphic rodents, an epic battle begins when an unemployed father's sanity is challenged by a chance encounter with two underage girls on holiday. I didn't actually read this when I typed it out. I just copy and pasted.
Carlos, what are we about to watch?
The truth behind Disney, I guess. Let's go see what the mouse has been hiding.
It's got to be better than Skinamarink.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Hold on. I've got to vent. My friend sent me the top 10 most horror videos.
So
did you see that?
It's from Men's Journal.
It was that, and because it was scary movies, but they also are doing the thing where they take your heart rate monitor and they do resting heart rate versus the highest spikes.
Mine would have just been like almost like.
And 10 through 4, I was like, I can agree with that. 1 and 2, I can agree with. Number fucking 3 was Skinamarink.
Dumb. I saw that same list. I was so mad.
Was Skinamarink. How is... And, if the producer is listening to this again, so it wasn't for us, so sorry to bash on it so much. But I do not agree that it was
not scary.
If nothing else, my resting heart rate was actually lower because I was going into comatose.
Maybe people were getting agitated by the movie and that was raising their
It was the suspense of thinking something was going to happen for an hour and a half, and so they were on the edge, and at the end it just goes. Maybe it was a reverse spike. They didn't know how to interpret it because everyone's heart rate went so low because they were all just dead. Okay, sorry, I had to get that out of my system because you mentioned it, and
I read that like 2 days ago and was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
In what world?
In the United States of fuckeries.
In a house.
In the chicanery of it all.
What's the
in a world.
In a world.
No, that they repeated on the trailer for Skinamarink. It was
I don't
in
remember.
this house.
Oh, did they have?
In this house.
Oh yeah, in this house.
It's on the DVD too. On the
who cares? Let's go watch the mouse and some father rape 2 girls, I guess.
Oh my god.
People come here because they want to feel safe. Bad things happen everywhere, especially here. You can't be happy all the time.
Something's wrong with Elliot.
There's something going on here. It's this place.
You're inside my head. You've got quite an imagination. Just like old WD himself.
Daddy, let's go home.
Carlos can see himself on that monitor.
You can see my uvula. That means I'm a girl house.
We didn't watch Monster House.
But I love that movie.
We watched a movie called
Escape from Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Escape from Tomorrow.
Escape from L.A.
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 You know what? This movie wasn't what I was expecting. Hi, Dexter.
There's a loose dog in the studio.
He doesn't know where he's at.
He's fine.
It wasn't what I was expecting. I didn't hate it. I don't know that I understood it.
Me neither.
In the end.
I don't get what we watched, but
it was entertaining.
I would watch it again.
Yeah. I think with more people that haven't seen it. I don't know if it's one that I would be like, I want to watch a movie.
With Disney adults. We should watch it with Disney adults.
So they can be like, hey, that woman represents all Disney adults.
Yes.
So this movie came out. It had a limited release October 11th, 2013, but it was first released at Sundance. Hi, Dexter. January 18th, 2013. I did find a budget for this film.
They did have a budget.
They did have a budget.
What was the budget?
Do you not want to guess?
Oh, wait.
Do you remember how this works?
I forgot. No. What is this podcast we're on? What are we doing?
These guys.
Break me off a piece of that
fancy feast. Cat food commercial. Nailed it.
I've got to guess. $5,000.
5,000. I'm gonna go a little bit more. I'm gonna say $15,000.
$650.
$650,000?
Dollars.
Dang.
No, $650.
I spent a lot of money on this.
$650.
What? $650.
1,000.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for what we watched.
Yeah.
And then,
well, I guess they had to pay for all of those
the green screen effects.
The green screen effects.
Oh, they did.
They had to pay for admission to the parks.
They had the green screen effects. Oh, okay. There's things happening all around us, by the way. Hi, there's me. We had to pay for the green screen effects.
Carry us, Carlos. How much for park admission do you think?
Oh, give or take. Well, we have to account for inflation. So,
and how much was the film?
And yeah, the actual
how much
film.
Does the film.
Okay, good. Right. How do we think this movie did? So we do have opening weekend because it had, but remember, it had a very limited release.
$5,000.
It did not make even, but it made. Take a second guess. It made way more than
$150,000.
Okay, you're generous. $63,297. Okay.
So it lost money.
Not only did it lose money on opening weekend, it lost money worldwide gross. Your hint is it did not come near making its money back.
Okay.
Worldwide. Prestige.
$250,000.
Lower. 171. Let's call it 172,000.
$172,000. Wow.
With a budget of estimated 650. Okay.
Oof.
Did not make much
back.
But
it seemed like it was just somebody's passion project, though.
It was like Skinamarink, I think, where it was a passion project. We got the funding for it. We just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was meant to be the next blockbuster hit.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it was very much just like, hey, we could do this thing at Disney. It might be fun. And then they went and did this thing at Disney, and they looked like they had fun.
Honestly, I bet it was a really fun project to do and work on. What do we think the critics thought of this?
I'll be generous here. 60%?
Close. 58.
58%? Okay.
Now, what about the audience?
The audience, I'm going to say lower. 45%? 25%?
25.
Is it really 25%?
Yeah, 25. Wow. Now, this one...
yeah.
Kill counts.
I can see, because, like, we enjoyed it,
but
it's not a good movie.
I wouldn't necessarily I would recommend it to Disney adults because I think my enjoyment came from seeing things as like, that's Big Thunder Mountain, that's this, and I got like excited for that, but the movie itself is fine.
I didn't get. I guess it's just that Disney is this weird.
It's like a cult
thing that takes people over and kills them, but then you come back and you have the life that you want afterwards.
The cat flu.
So did the lady with the hypnotizing jewel thing, was she related to the cat flu, or did those things just happen at the same time? Or
see, I'm thinking those are separate things.
Yes.
So they're
separate things and they're related. That's the Disney way.
It's the Disney. It's the Disney magic. It's Disney magic. So early on, we meet a nurse because the daughter gets pushed over, scrapes her knee, and goes to the sexy nurse. Hello,
the sexy nurse. And the sexy nurse talks about cat flu.
She talks about cat flu, which we missed completely. We're like,
Aaron
what does
was
she
talking.
Say? And we're like, that was probably a pipital point. And then we found out later it was.
It actually
cat flu.
was a pivotal.
It was.
We're like, who cares?
It'll come back. It was cat flu, and she's like, you could be carrying it and not even know. And then I didn't understand when they left. The nurse started crying. Why?
Because
cat flu.
The relation to Walt Disney and his sister. Whenever I have no clue.
Because that man was not really him. He was carrying Walt's brain because his father brought him there when Walt Disney Park opened.
Well, no, when Epcot opened.
When Epcot opened, and they abducted him and implanted Walt Disney's brain in his, and she was awestruck. Boom, it makes sense.
With the Epcot head dome.
Okay, so that was kind of cool.
That was a hallucination, though, right?
No, that was real.
You think that was real?
The whole Epcot thing?
Yeah.
So he gets abducted into Epcot. So the movie actually puts an intermission, which I kind of liked. And they're putting him in this thing, and they put him in like a simulation, and the pieces of the Epcot dome
form a dome around
what's the ride?
Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. It comes around and forms a dome over his head, and he sees a simulation, and they talk about how he was brought there as a kid, and they show him glimpses of his real life,
yeah,
and that what he's living is not his real life.
Or is it flipped?
Who's the real one?
That's the life that could have been. Right? Well, that's what I got.
But at the end, they carry his dead body out, and then who shows up at the resort
is
the real him. Life. So are they both there?
I took it as he finally, because he died at Disney, he got his dream life. Because that's where dreams come true at Disney.
Oh.
I don't know.
If you get a
he always wanted this woman. He was talking about the woman that was on Soarin'.
The naked Soarin' chick?
The naked Soarin' chick.
Yeah, we missed the wrong Soarin' ride. When they rode Soarin', there was naked, like, Indian woman that was floating across. She's like, hello. And
butt.
Full boobs and butt, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not remember that in Soarin'.
Me neither.
We need to go back and see if there's, like, a X-rated Soarin'. Or, like, if there's a late night Soarin'. Yeah. Late night Soarin'.
I don't think it's kid appropriate.
Oh, it's definitely not kid appropriate.
But he took his daughter on that ride.
He did take his daughter, and that means she saw boobs, tits, and ass.
Yep.
What do we think the kill count for this movie was?
And
I will be loose with this.
It's 1.
I will also accept 2.
Who?
The robot that he decapitates.
Okay. Yeah.
But that wasn't a human, but he killed it, sort of.
But did he die because he got his dream at the end?
But he had 0. He had cat flu, though.
0.
Cat flu.
0. Because he's still alive at the end.
I see. For me, they're 2 different entities. Okay. There's the him that died, and there's the real him. It's like the Matrix.
You never know. Yeah.
Or Inception.
Inception. Yeah.
But they can't be at the same time, though.
Why not?
Because those are the rules.
What are the rules?
What are the rules? When you just turn Disney and you can't switch busy.
I don't know.
Well, you gotta go and find out the mouse.
You got it.
Got it. Those are the rules. I think we should jump into some fun facts with Carlos. So this movie was written and directed by Randy Moore. Ever heard of him?
Nope.
Never would have, because this is all he's done.
That's it? Nothing else?
Yeah. So the reason why this movie has fascinated me for so long is because I looked up some about this I think we first found out about this movie. Mm-hmm. So this film was filmed entirely on Disney property without them knowing. So very guerrilla style. They used handheld cameras because the whole premise is if you're with your family vacation, you would have a little camcorder and you would film it. And so the entire film is filmed with handheld cameras. The entire scripts for the films are all on their iPhones. They did not carry paper. They did not do anything. They kept it all on their iPhones so that they could keep the illusion that they're just there on vacation. They did film at both Disney World and Disney.
What? They did? I didn't even know that.
You didn't notice that at all. You never mentioned that once during the movie.
And what hotel did they stay at? The Contemporary?
The Cosmopolitan.
No, the Contemporary.
The Caesar's Palace. The Flamingo. But yeah, it was filmed at both parks without their permission. And yeah, they just kept all the scripts on their phone, which I think is pretty fascinating that they were able to, I guess, get away. I mean, we talked about like the role of parody. When they went on, they did a whole bit where they're on It's a Small World, but they dubbed over the song with...
And it was just like another annoying song.
It was another annoying song that easily could have been It's a Small World.
You went on It's a Small World for the first time.
Because it was my first time at Disney, and it's a rite of passage. I had to.
You have to. How'd you feel about it?
It was exactly what I was expecting.
You never need to do it again?
I never need to do it again.
We're going to get distracted.
I love looking at it.
Where's the remote?
There you go. No, is that better?
I like looking at it. Look at those pearly whites.
We need to put the monitor right there in front of you.
So I could just stare at myself the whole time?
Yep.
I'm so vain. I hate it. Speaking of It's a Small World, the director had the actors ride through It's a Small World time a number of times to get that scene right. How many times do you think they had to write it?
3.
12.
Get out.
12 times.
It's a Small World 12 times.
To get that entire scene, yes.
Dedicated people here.
Because think of all the shots. It was all the stuff with like him trying to like turn around and touch his wife.
Yeah.
That's not the one. No, he vomited on the 3 caballeros.
3 caballeros.
But then all the shots of the individual like figures with the demonic faces on them. So let's talk about that because
I didn't get that.
Did he already have, so there's two things that happened. From the start of the movie, he has hallucinations. Hallucinations. I think I had a stroke. Hallucinations. Anthropomorphic rodents.
He had anthropomorphic hallucinations.
Anthropomorphic hallucinations. God. But then after intermission, finally the French, first of all, he has the hots for these two French girls that look like they're in middle school. Very underage. They look like they're in middle school. One of them has braces.
There's no way they're like more than like 15, 14 years old.
And it's inappropriate that he like follows them. Like the wife and the husband split. One takes one kid, one takes the other. Well, like it's
obvious at the beginning they don't like, the wife and the husband don't like each other.
Like they definitely have a strained family vibe. Yeah. And so he takes one kid and he follows the two chicks on every ride. And the son calls him out. Why are we following those two girls? Like, are they riding the same rides as us? Oh, it's popular rides. Like
the son bumps into him in their car ride.
They liked it. Cars. They liked getting rammed, Daddy. That's not what he said, but that's basically what they've implied.
Yeah. But then, we were making fun of this at the beginning, like before we watched the movie, when you described the synopsis.
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Oh, that's funny, haha." No, like legit, this is a little
honestly, it had pedophile vibes, and I did not like it.
I think that was the point, though.
Look, I didn't like it though.
No.
Well, and then like
I did not like it at all.
What ride were they? They were riding. It was a dark ride, and the wife and the husband were in the backseat together, and he kept trying to like kiss her.
Winnie the Pooh,
and he kept trying to like make out with
She's
her.
Like, not in front of the children.
And the kids were like turning around, like, what are they doing? Like, it just was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I get that they're trying to portray that. I get it, but it was
still uncomfortable.
It's really uncomfortable. So they follow the French girls around like the entire park, and then in the intermission afterwards, at
the intermission
they fast forward to the Epcot fireworks, which we've been talking about for a good chunk of the movie. And the French girl, first of all, he has this weird hallucination where she comes up, French kisses the daughter, and then grabs her hand.
She's French and she kisses the daughter. She doesn't French kiss the daughter.
Oh wait,
I got what you were talking about.
She kisses the daughter.
I mean, we never see it, so it could have been a French kiss. But that would
aren't all of her kisses French kisses?
She doesn't do the American French kiss.
Do you know what an Australian kiss is?
It's down under.
It's a French kiss, but down under.
Do you know what an Eskimo kiss is?
Isn't that where the nose?
It's adorable.
It's something like actually. I follow a person on Instagram that is they are native Eskimos.
Inuit.
Inuit, thank you. And they talk about what an actual Eskimo kiss is. They're like, a lot of people think it's that, but it's not that.
What is it?
I don't remember. I'll have to look up the video.
Oh, I thought it was a joke or something.
No, they
rub butts together.
That's the joke. No, it's legitimately something else, but everyone thinks Eskimo kisses is the nose, but it's something else.
It's when you tap foreheads together.
Okay.
They're up north and up in the...
You touch your North Poles together.
They kiss, but they put whale blubber between their lips.
Well, that's what the females do, but the men, they have to get hard-ons, and then they touch the tip so that the North Poles touch.
Just the tip.
But just the tip, because for a minute. The North Poles, yeah.
Where were we?
North Poles.
We were talking about
the French girl.
That he was acting like he had hallucinations very early on, and also I wanted to mention you said that they didn't like each other, and I'd like to point out that this was the last day of their Disney trip, so he might have already gotten infected with cat flu, and they might have already been like stressed and having a bad time before.
So where I was getting at that though, so we have that thought, but we also have after intermission when they have that hallucination, the French girl he has an hallucination where they go the Epcot ball breaks off and explodes, and then he's like, I can't go with you, and she's like, why? He's like, something bad will happen, and she's like, well, something bad will happen if you don't. And then she's like, fine, if you're sure, and then she spits on him like a gross. She first of all pulled chapstick out, lubricated those brace filled teeth, and this
lubricated her
lips, and just like saturated all the saliva, and then ejaculated so much moisture all over his face.
Phrasing.
I chose my words. I mean, there was a whole scene where he was squeezing this tiniest tube of whatever that was.
Oh, that was funny.
And ejaculated all over the room, the semen room.
He was trying to squeeze the tube to shoot. It was like an Austin Powers.
He was trying to get lubrication to get his wrists out of the thing from like Neosporin.
Well, no, he was trying to short circuit the machine.
Yeah,
was he? Okay.
Yeah,
because it starts exploding and then he goes.
But there was naked pictures of the one girl, and it goes all over them and his future wife, and the room is called the Semen Room, SIEMEN, semen. Anyway, so the one French chick spits on him, and so I'm like, is that where the cat flu came from?
Yeah.
Or was he infected before, and that's why he had
the French girls have cat flu?
But does that mean then the wife has cat flu because she started getting hallucinations at the later point?
I think she must.
I like that the symptoms for cat flu were COVID? Puking up hairballs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a little literal. He got in the toilet and was coughing up hairballs. And then his son basically said, F you, Dad. He's like, I'm sick. I need help. And he says, okay, bye.
I'm closing this door.
And just closes the door on him. And then, okay, his face was very creepy, though. It looked like the Joker. Like when they opened up and he was dead, it was like...
Yep.
It was real creepy.
It's the happiest place on earth.
Happiest place on earth. So, also his daughter goes missing.
Okay, that whole bit was real weird.
And the woman who is a Disney... I'm assuming that was meant to be like... Her job was she was a princess at Disney.
She was a Disney princess.
She kidnaps children and plays games with them, but
and
always
she says
returns them.
No one would notice.
But that's why I think they must be connected, because that happened when the one... the young girl spit on him.
Yeah.
And then the daughter was gone. Like, it's an awful big coincidence if those two aren't connected.
I think we're thinking too deep into this movie.
Yeah, I think we're giving it way too much credit. Yeah. It's like Skinamarink.
Way too much
credit.
No, this had a plot.
Yeah. I mean, okay, this actually had...
And dialogue.
Yeah, it had dialogue and a plot. And yeah.
Oh, one of my favorite fun facts, and I called it out in the movie because it was like, we need to remember this for the fun fact.
I forgot to turn it back on. I usually do.
It's the opposite, right?
Yes.
So there's a whole bit where there's I'm going to call her the Disney adult. I felt like her character is meant to be the epitome of the Disney adult. The woman who has sex with.
Oh,
she was a Disney princess before.
The princess, and
then
she's got this jewel that
she has this jewel that like bedazzles you and like hypnotizes you.
But what is the secret of the jewel that it is?
It is hanging right below her breast, and it's connected to her breast. It's on purpose because it's meant to be a hidden Mickey where the pendant is Mickey's head and her boobs are the ears of Mickey. That is actually a fun fact. That was on purpose. But she's a weird character. So she was a Disney princess, right? Like that was the whole bit.
Legit. She's a Disney princess.
For me, she's the epitome of what like a Disney adult turns into.
Yeah.
Like a little crazy because then the guy goes into her room and she's dressed up in like a kind of an evil
Maleficent almost.
Yeah, Maleficent meets like evil stepmother costume. Yeah. And the daughter is on the bed in a bed of flowers, kind of like Snow White.
But also her son is wearing a Disney princess dress.
Yeah. Again.
Well, we're assuming that's her son.
How dare you assume a gender?
And then
wow.
And then the guy goes in and sees his daughter surrounded by flowers,
and
he goes her on the forehead. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, my daughter!" He thought she was dead or something.
Well, because she was drinking. We see her drinking what looks like champagne.
That's right. Yeah.
We find out later that it's sparkling apple cider.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it actually was, but
yeah, I think it's just some sort of B plot. I don't think they're connected.
But then also the pendant. Like, are we putting power in the pendant? Because she kept like flashing it, and it seemed like it was hypnotizing or putting him in a trance. But then the daughter grabs it and breaks it.
I don't know.
So does the pendant actually have powers? Are we reading too much? Is she a witch?
I think yes, but the daughter was unaffected because the powers only have effect on men.
I said it from the very early on. This movie is all about sirens. Yeah. And I still feel like I'm not 100% wrong.
That still feels pretty right.
Yeah. Between her and the French chicks.
I could agree with you, but I didn't hear any sirens during the whole movie. Like, they're not even like police sirens or...
Their tornado sirens were literally going off the entire movie.
No, that was happening here, actually, in downtown the colony.
We should probably check outside to see if we are the only survivors.
Yeah.
So what is the movie? Escape from Tomorrowland? No Sleep from Tomorrow? Tomorrow Never Dies? Perfect Storm? Storm of Tomorrow? Storm of the Century? Storm of the Century?
What does it matter? What, are you having a stroke?
With Jake Gyllenhaal?
Are you having a stroke?
Is that the right one?
No.
What's the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal where it's the storm and
Storm of the Century is Stephen King.
Right, but what's the Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
Perfect Storm.
Is it Perfect Storm?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a Perfect Storm.
Was Jake Gyllenhaal in a Perfect Storm?
Was George Clooney.
Yeah.
You're thinking of The Day Before Tomorrow, I think.
After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, where they had the superstorm and it freezes over New York and it like floods, tornadoes, everything happens all at the same time.
How did we get here?
Because tornado signs were going off, and I said we had to see if we were the only survivors, like in The Day After Tomorrow.
This is also a lot like that
Escape from The Day After Tomorrow.
Like that George Clooney movie Tomorrowland.
Oh, I never saw that.
Escape from Tomorrowland. Oh, I have a fun fact about the nurse.
What about that nurse? The hot nurse.
Hello, nurse.
With the Halloween costume.
The Halloween costume Disney nurse.
The 1940s costumed nurse.
Yes.
Who was, period. This movie was weird because very clearly a lot of the things were characters. Like they had a whole bit where there was the Disney princesses where they took pictures of
very obviously not official Disney.
Cinderella, and then there's a third one. Ariel, thank you. And they've clearly were like discount costumes and people that just wore those to take the pictures. And then the really creepy Asian men that come up and they're like
grabbing their boobs.
Hello, and then grabbing their butts and stuff.
You can't do the voice.
Oh, sorry. I'm canceled. Listen, if I haven't been canceled yet, that was it. You have a sign that says Black Keys. That's a hard B, so you're canceled too.
Well, I mean, you can look in the bottom. Don't say it out loud, but the bottom left of that corner.
Yikes. Yikes. Hard R. Where's the nurse one? When the nurse suggests that they might be a cat flu going on around Disney, this is not as far-fetched as it sounds, as Disney has 5 permanent feeding stations of feral cats, which prowl the park after hours, keeping the rodent population in check.
Let's say, Disney has feral cats on property to get rid of any of the rats.
But not the anthropomorphic rats.
What about the... Yeah. Like, did they get rid of Mickey Mouse?
No. Oh, boy. No, they keep...
a good Mickey Mouse impression.
Thank you. They keep the anthropomorphic rodents, but they get rid of... Animorphs. Digital animals.
Nope.
Gotta catch them. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Did you ever read Animorphs?
Yeah. I did. And there was an Animorphs TV show, too, wasn't there, for a little bit?
Was there? I don't remember. I never watched the show.
I think there was an Animorphs TV show, yeah.
Weird.
Like The Secret World of Alex Mack.
Isn't that where she, like, turned into liquid?
The silver puddle of goop.
Yeah.
And she would always be naked, but then later on, apparently, she'd stop being naked. I guess she learned how to keep her clothes on.
What?
Didn't she?
No, I don't remember any of that.
She, like, the very first episode, when she finds out her powers, she goes to the goop, and then when she comes up, she's naked.
It's a children's show.
They didn't show anything.
Okay. No, I don't remember.
It was Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon got away with a lot back in the day.
Man, there's so much stuff coming
Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life. They did not care.
Which I think we've already talked about that. B-52s did the theme song. Mm-hmm. I learned that like last month.
Rocko's Modern Life.
Rocko's Modern Life. Especially that. I'm like, oh yeah. It sounds just like them. Speaking of Rocko, due to the importance of lighting in this film, which is all in black and white, FYI, the crew was sometimes forced to shoot certain shots in a 6-minute window when the sun was directly in the right position. Many of the shots that they did were having to be planned months in advance.
Oh.
So because of like lighting and stuff like that, everything was monochromatic. So they had to plan they had to look at weathers and stuff and plan ahead of time of where the shots were going to be, what the weather was going to be like. So it wasn't a
lot of planning went into this movie that I wish they would have spent more time making a script for.
Well, they did, but then they decided to not use it.
Yeah.
You know what they should do? They should mash this movie up with, what was that one movie? Attraction? The one about the old people, and it was like mental health.
Yes.
And theme park.
Theme park.
Theme park?
No, but it's something like that.
We did an episode
George Romero movie.
Yeah. Where like the old people are being forced into the nursing
last
home.
theme park.
Yeah. They should do a mashup of those two.
The last ride. I don't know.
Escape from the nursing home.
Some random New Jersey theme park.
Yeah.
Escape from the nursing home. Maybe that's what this movie was. It was all just a giant nursing home. They were all old and trying, I don't know.
It's a commentary. Hold on. Can we talk about, it just reoccurred to me. The dude stubbed his toe and like completely like, it's the bloodiest thing ever. Did he stub it? Did he step on broken glass? I'm so confused.
Yeah, because he broke the beer outside.
But he broke it outside and threw it in the trash can.
But also, what was the point of that?
Showing that he was getting drunk early on because then he vomits later on. Because he started day drinking, then they did Epcot, and he was drinking around the world by himself while they wore a lot of racist hats.
Yeah.
And then they did the Three Caballeros.
That's the thing about Epcot is. You got to figure out what parts are racist and which parts aren't.
I think the movie you're referring to is the amusement park.
The amusement park.
Amusement.
Yes.
That's amusing.
No one calls them that anymore. We don't call them amusement parks. Theme parks, yeah.
But what is the theme?
Old people.
Wow.
The amusement park? Yeah.
Wow. What? Oh. We have a guest. We have a peanut gallery here today.
We do.
Our good friend Brian
Just a little behind the scenes, guys. Sorry about that. Don't worry.
No, you're good. I was like, what? I heard my name. ADD kicked in.
What a piece of shit Carlos is.
He's pretty much the worst. Why people deal with him, I don't know.
He's my favorite piece of shit.
Oh, you're my favorite piece of sperm. Because you're white.
Wait, I don't like the implication of you being a piece of shit, though.
Because I'm brown.
Stop.
To be clear, that's not the reason why.
Okay.
Is it because I have good shits?
Yeah.
I have healthy bowel movements.
Me too.
One of my friends, you know her, Alyssa, she listens to this. These whole things.
The Garbage Girls.
So she was telling me one of her favorite things, one of the things she'll miss the most about me in the office is when I would have a really good poop, I would come back from the bathroom and I apparently had this nice little like lilt and I had this giant smile. My desk would
post poop euphoria.
Yes, my desk would be right here and it would face her. She had an office, and so I'd be at my desk and I'd be standing and I would just be smiling and she'd look up and go, "Good poop," and I would smile and be like, "Yes." That makes me happy. So I do have really good shits.
The person outside of the bathroom at office I worked in, I'd walk over to their desk and I'd be like, "If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer."
Just wait longer.
It's a little Ace Ventura line for you.
We already talked about this, that the film was filmed mostly between Disney World and
Disneyland. Which, when they went to It's a Small World, very obviously
that was the
Disneyland.
land version,
when
not
they
the
were
world.
in Tomorrowland, very obviously Disneyland.
Epcot, of course, was World.
Yes.
Because
it's Epcot of California.
Epcot of the future?
Yeah.
Epcot, Japan.
Epcot, Japan.
Epcot, which stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow.
Oh.
You knew that.
Does it?
Yes,
I knew that.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, you know that.
I've watched the
Imagineering, all that stuff on Disney.
You also said it during the movie when we were watching it.
I also said it wrong during the movie, though, so I didn't know if you remembered. I said Experimental Prototype of Communities Tomorrow.
Oh, I wasn't listening to you closely.
Epoch. You want to go to Epoch?
I would love to go to the Epoch. Gross. Keegan.
Man, I have to go back to Disney. Not have to, but I get to go back to Disney in February.
Gross.
Which, on the one hand, I'm like, cool, I get to go back to Disney, but also I'm going to be watching 70 theater kids.
That sounds
having to watch
amazing.
70 theater high school kids while we go to Disney. Luckily, we have a lot of chaperones.
I'm about to say, isn't that why you just have chaperones?
Can we do bets on like the over-under for how many get pregnant?
I don't like that.
Say zero with these kids. Zero.
I don't like that, especially since I know some of them. I'm like, I don't like thinking of this game.
Zero.
Don't like it.
I thought you were gonna say how many come back, how many make it back.
Like Kim Kardashian.
I hope you bring them all back.
Yeah, me too. I like my job, and most of those kids.
What are you gonna do after this career if you don't?
If I don't bring them all back.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian came back.
Stop.
What? No, she had cum in her back in that one. I will always
The
make
joke
that
is so old.
I don't care. I love that joke. I will always make it.
That joke's
Speaking
making a comeback.
of Kim Kardashian, there was dialogue. I don't necessarily remember it, but dialogue about a death at Thunder Mountain at some point in the movie.
I don't remember that.
We were probably talking.
But we were talking about this at Disney where, like, technically nobody's ever died at Disney because they don't declare them dead until they are off property.
They keep it all hush.
That we probably talked over it because that was what I think prompted that part of the conversation.
We should probably talk less during movies and pay attention.
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to not talk more and pay attention because we keep missing lots of things.
Good.
Okay, fuck you. The dialogue about a death at Thunder Mountain is a reference to a real death at Disneyland on September 5th, 2003. A 22-year-old man died when a car on Big Thunder Mountain derailed. However, in the movie they talk about the decapitation, but he was not decapitated as it was portrayed in the film. He was just crushed to death.
Just one person died when a car derailed?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's good.
The rest were just permanently maimed.
Yeah.
But they probably got lifelong passes to Disney.
I want to look that up. The 2003 Big Thunder Mountain derailment.
You should do it. Those are all the fun facts I have.
Those were all of the fun facts with Carlos.
Those were all the fun facts.
Yeah,
fun facts.
I don't know if I have much more to say about this movie.
I enjoyed it. I would watch it again with other people that haven't seen it, especially Disney adults. Yeah. But it's weird. It was not at all what I was expecting. I will be honest. It was nowhere near what I was expecting. I was expecting more horrors.
I think going into these kind of movies too, sort of like amusement parks, some things that are strange or made, not traditional horror. I don't think they're going to be as like straight up horror films as some of the other ones that we've watched.
Yeah, and after I realized it was one that was originally submitted to like Sundance, I was like, okay, like Skinamarink, it was meant for the Independent Film Festival circuit. Yeah, it definitely feels like that, but it resonates way more than like a Skinamarink does. Because again, it has story, it has somewhat of a plot. I think this created a lot more cohesive conversation than Skinamarink did.
I don't know. We had some good conversations about Skinamarink.
We had conversations.
I enjoyed that episode I enjoyed the episode more than the movie.
I enjoyed the episode and the drink, the Skinema drink.
Skinema drink.
That was great.
Which was a Carlos original, and I'm very proud of that still.
What did was it Jeff? Is that his name?
Jeff?
Natalie's husband?
Greg with 2
Greg.
G. Greg with 2 G's.
Greg with 2 G's. What did he say we should name it instead? I forgot what
I don't remember what he said, but he said we should rename it because it's a disservice to the drink that we're calling it Skinema drink after the movie. What do you rate this movie?
On a scale of Mickey Mouse to Donald Duck, I give it 3. Big Thunder Mountains.
On a scale of hidden Mickeys to magical pendants. I had to take my hat off. I will give this movie 4.
I swear to God, I almost made a Donald Duck noise for mine. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
You said it, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. Hence why I had to take the hat off.
Okay, got it.
Speaking of hats.
I'm not wearing one today.
Speaking of hats. What holiday-themed movie features a crazed miner and a pickaxe?
A miner? Like an underage person with a pickaxe?
Yeah.
It's My Bloody Valentine, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron got it right already.
I won.
This is question 2.
I was trying to be funny with the miner.
Question 2. No, we already got uncomfortable.
We've already dealt with miners today.
We've dealt with miners today.
Oof.
Well, they were French, though. Does it count?
French miners.
What is the age in France?
I don't know. Ask Roman Polanski.
Oh, okay, we're done.
Probably older than America.
In the movie Predator.
Another Predator question?
It's a different one, yeah.
All right, here we go.
What substance conceals the character Dutch from the creature?
Mud.
Those are easy.
Mud. Aaron got both of those today. Good job.
Double victory for Aaron.
Double victory.
Double victory for the double AA.
Ooh, are you going to crisscross it?
Let's crisscross applesauce. Put it in the slit. Make it quit. Then come on up. Oh.
Uh-oh. Did you already lose one?
How did this come out?
It happens to the best of us.
Pish, posh. Put it in. Wait.
Pish, posh, applesauce.
Stick it in.
That way, and then
make
it makes
it thin.
Squares.
Make it squares if you dares. I don't know.
Look at the little squares coming out. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
If you are only a listener, you should go to the YouTube and watch Carlos.
At some point, we should do a super cut of all the card grind cutting.
And put it on the
shredding.
Tic Tacs.
The many faces, the many sexual sound effects, the many John Williams medleys that we've done. We've done a lot of weird things during those.
That's my favorite part of the show still.
I love John
Just
Williams.
the shredding of the card and whatever I decide to do.
I love John Williams. Dun, 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 dun,
I love The Simpsons.
Dun, dun, dun,
That's a Simpsons song, right?
No, that's the... Dun, 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 dun,
wait, what were you actually singing? Wait, go back to
Beetlejuice.
I love his work on all
Brian,
the
that's the
movies.
joke.
Oh, that our running joke.
We always get the composers wrong.
His theme on Batman is amazing.
John Williams?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Hans Zimmer. His Batman theme is so good.
Hans Zimmer is great.
Brahms. That's his favorite restaurant. Brahms.
Is that the Inception soundtrack?
Yes, it's all of it. It's all of Hans.
Oh no, sorry, that was Interstellar.
Well, we've interstellared our way to the end of another episode
of
Keegan and Carlos, a scary movie podcast.
Escape.
Hey, thanks for listening to us, everybody.
Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever platform you're listening to us on.
And follow us on Instagram and Facebook so you can make sure you keep up with all of our fun shenanigans.
And if you have any suggestions for scary movies, let us know.
Thanks for listening to Keegan and Carlos' Scary Movie Podcast.